Hello and welcome to this special Piney News Report, and we are going to talk about traffic conditions in Nassau County and how they slow down the buses. A lot of these traffic jams are created by bad traffic lights or bad road design or bad routing, and a lot of these problems have existed since the Long Island bus days and continue. So we're going to look at the map, and we're going to show you some areas in Nassau County where buses lose time.
The very first area we are going to look at is Greenvale. This is an area where the N27 loses a lot of time, particularly N27s traveling in the southbound direction. Now, the N27 takes Glen Cove Avenue, then uses back road, and then makes a right onto Glen Cove Road going south. And the problem is, at the intersection of 25A and Glen Cove Road, the traffic signal for southbound traffic does not give enough time for southbound traffic. And it's been this way for as long as I can remember. And so you can have backups very often, usually almost all the time, particularly in the afternoon and the early evening, going all the way from 25A all the way up to the Greenvale train station and back road. So we're going to first look at the satellite image and see the intersection layout here. Actually, unfortunately, it's not backed up in the satellite image too much. But you can see here the southbound traffic over here. And it often will reach all the way up to here. And this results in about a 10 to 15 minute delay on the N27 southbound. And it's been this way. This has been a problem. It's all because the timing on this traffic signal here does not allow enough time for this particular intersection. There is more volume traveling north-south than east-west. However, the New York State DOT traffic signal is timed more for east and west traffic. New York State Department of Transportation traffic lights are some of the worst traffic signals known to man as far as their timing goes. They're infuriatingly off a lot of the time. So let's now look at a street view and see if it's backed up in the street view. And knowing my luck, it's probably not. Oh yeah, here we go. You can see the backup of cars. It's still not that bad though. So I want to bring this back a little bit. Let's see if we can find one where it is backed up better. Unfortunately, there really isn't. There's only two, and they're not that backed up. But you can see already that there's a backup here. I'm trying to get to where they're in the southbound lanes of the road, but it does not look like they provided a street view in that direction. But anyway, it frequently backs up over here if you've taken the 27. Obviously, they took this during the weekend, probably when there's not that much traffic. It usually doesn't back up that much on the weekend. But this particular traffic light right over here is mistimed. It only gives about 40 seconds of green time, 30 to 40 seconds of green time for southbound traffic, which is not enough for the amount of volume that is traveling south in the afternoon, and that's why there's a backup. So this, by far, is one of the worst spots where buses lose time on the N27. Now, there's another spot on the N27 and the N22A we're going to go to next. This next spot is Glen Cove Road and Jericho Turnpike in the northbound direction. And this is another spot where we have a New York State Department of Transportation traffic signal and a messed up, rather dangerous intersection layout. I think I've done videos on this before. I have a video from a long time ago. And the problem is there's only one turning lane from the northbound Glen Cove Road onto Jericho Turnpike. And the problem is that we have a combination of factors here. Traffic on northbound Glen Cove Road, in order to reach the Northern State Parkway, has to make a left on that one turning lane and then get over to the right and then get onto the Northern State this way. The other problem is we have traffic exiting Northern State Parkway that going to a Jericho Turnpike that's going to be coming off here and then making a left also. So this results in this lane getting extremely backed up. The left turn arrow is not long enough. And the N27 and the N22A northbound N27, westbound N22A, make a left over here and get stuck in the traffic. So we're going to look here first, see if it's backed up in the satellite, which it probably isn't. Of course, it's not backed up in the satellite. But what happens here is this left lane here backs up off into underneath the bridge over here. And people will cut in from the other lanes and try to make a left because they need more than one lane. You have two problems. You need two turning lanes and you need a longer left turn arrow. The left turn arrow is about 10 seconds long. Maybe 6 cars get through. So it's not enough, and you have all this traffic merging into this left turning lane. Now, back in the MTA days, a lot of the buses would actually turn from the other lane, all right, in order to not have to sit in the line of cars. But that doesn't happen anymore. That NICE is taken over, and so this is another spot where buses lose time. And oh, good, it's backed up in this section, so you can see how dangerous it is. All right, this is Glen Cove Road here. All right, and you have traffic now exiting off the westbound Northern State here. You have traffic exiting westbound Northern State, and in order to get to Jericho Turnpike, this is the exit for Jericho Turnpike. They have to get over here and make the left onto Jericho to go west. They don't have a full clover leaf here. This intersection is screwed up. Personally, if I was driving, you're better off getting off the next exit, getting off on Glen Cove Road, and then going back down to get to Jericho, because the backup at this light is crazy. So this light over here is just notorious for problems. The left turn arrow at this light is a joke. All right, and you see it's changed already. You can see yellow. It's already yellow, but look, let's see. There's a backup of cars here. There's a backup of cars. It's not long enough, and so you get a backup. Good. This is a perfect example. You can see what's going on. So you have these cars coming off here like this, off the parkway. Then you have the bus trying to make its left turn here, and then you have people trying to taking Glen Cove Road to access the Northern State Parkway and getting on at that entrance over there. So this is a spot where buses lose time. It's dangerous. There are a lot of cars that cut in front of the bus and, that turn from this lane. Like I said, in the MTA days, they let the buses make turn from this lane. It was much better that way. At least the buses didn't have cars cutting them off. But now that the buses are turning from this left lane, it's bad. And like I said, this traffic light here is horrible. The arrow is not long enough. So and then you have, like I said, in order to access the Northern State, you have to get over here. Very dangerous. Like I said, New York State Department of Transportation is known to be very, very bad with their intersection design, and this affects the buses, But we have other areas in the county that also have traffic jams, and of course, I can't cover all of them. I'm just covering 5 of them. So that's 1. This is 2. And now we're going to go to another spot where mistimed traffic signals are causing delays. This other spot actually is by Roosevelt Field Mall. And the thing with Roosevelt Field Mall is they changed the traffic signal over here in this area. It used to be green for both sides, but now it's green for one side at a time. And the problem with this particular spot here, and of course you're not going to see it in the satellite. There's a bus though sitting at the light. You see it right there. But the thing is that if we go into the street view now, just watch, they won't have a street view over here. Maybe they will. Yeah, this is from, sorry, this is fairly recent, September 2015. They were redoing the road here. This is very dangerous. Why is this person walking in the road? That's what you get at Roosevelt Field. But anyway, this particular light is a long light, and it only gives you, it doesn't give enough green time, because now the buses go out this way at Roosevelt Field, and there's always a backup here, and we have what I like to call the situation we highlighted in the previous thing. You have one turning lane that's backed up, a traffic light that's not giving enough time for the traffic that's particularly leaving the mall in the afternoons and the evenings, and you get it back up, and then you have people turning from other lanes, cutting off the traffic. Again, this has been going, they changed the signal. It used to be an arrow and it used to be green at one time, but now, this way, there was basically used to be green both ways. Now it's one side at a time, and the other side gets a little more time than this side. So go figure. I don't know who controls this traffic light, whether it's Nassau County or Roosevelt Field. I'm assuming it's Nassau County. And again, it's a mistimed traffic light. These traffic lights are very old. Most of our traffic lights, some of them have magnetic sensors. We don't have cameras like New Jersey lights have. I'm not talking about red light cameras. I'm talking about the cameras that sense traffic conditions. So these traffic lights don't know what's going on. They're stupid traffic lights. They cause a lot of problems, and this is another problem that they cause. Now let's go to the next spot. The next spot is the Uniondale Avenue corridor. And when that college lets out and school lets out, you have a tremendous amount of southbound traffic that's coming out of Nassau Community, which is over here, going south toward Uniondale and, down the Hempstead Turnpike. And these traffic lights in particular, this one here at the Charles Lindbergh can be mistimed, and it backs up over here as well. But there's always a much bigger backup on this particular light here at Hempstead Turnpike. And it will often back up almost all the way up over here. So I don't think it's probably not going to be showing up on the satellite again, the backup. It probably won't be. But this is a huge backup that occurs over here. And it probably won't be on the street view either, unfortunately. But it frequently backs up. If you've driven in Nassau County, you've rode the bus, you know that these are congestion points. And this traffic light here, again, it's another stupid New York State Department of Transportation traffic light. And let me just see if there's one from probably all. Yeah, none of them are showing it. None of them really show you what it's like when school lets out. It's just a huge backup. And this light here, this light does not give enough time, again, to the north-south traffic. These lights, New York State DOT does not really take into account all the north-south traffic, the volume there is, and that these lights need to be, the green needs to be longer. And that's why it backs up. But this light is not as ridiculous as the one that's after it as we head south. Now, this is the way the 43 and the 45 go as they head south. So as we head south, down Uniondale Avenue, the next traffic light at Front Street, that light is really pathetic. And literally, it's like a 2-minute light, and you get like 30 seconds of green time. 2-minute red light and you get 30 seconds of green light. So green time. So the result is you get this huge traffic jam that can back up almost all the way to Hempstead Turnpike sometimes. That's particularly in the afternoon. This traffic light in front, of course, is again in the street view. I was hoping it would show you a backup. I was really hoping it would show you a backup, but it's not. But if you're on the 43 or the 45, this light here can back up. You're frequently stopped over here, and you look at the light down here, and there's just a line of cars. And unfortunately, I was hoping we get to show you what it looks like over here. It's a little backed up in this one. Let's see if we can. Yeah, it's a little backed up in this one. So again, it backs up often past here, and it's because of this light up ahead. Let's go to that one. This light up ahead here is not the green is too short, and it's also the placement of the bus stop. The bus stop is right at the light. It should be a little back away from the intersection. It's right at the light. You have a lot of drivers that won't open the door, and then you have to stop here when the light's green, and then you wind up missing the light and waiting another 2 minutes. And this light is horrible. Horrible traffic light. It's so mistimed. 2 minutes for there's 2 lanes of travel on Front Street. Only 1 lane on Uniondale Avenue. And a lot of times there's more traffic, again, going north-south, but the light's timed for the traffic going east-west. It's so stupid. And again, it's another New York State Department of Transportation light. New York State Department of Transportation lights are on state road intersections, and they're almost always painted green, whereas the county lights, the Nassau County lights, are painted yellow. But the next light on this is like a slog through Uniondale. I call this the slog because it could take 20 minutes to get through here, on a trip that shouldn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. It could take 20. The next light is Jerusalem Avenue and Uniondale Avenue, and this light also is a problem, and this is where the 43 and the 45 lose time, because again, you have this light that gives a very short green time. At least it's not that long of a wait, but it gives you get about 5 cars per light on this Uniondale Avenue. And if we go over here, again, it's not backed up in the satellite, but maybe you'll get to see it in the street view. Oh, good, it is backed up. So you can see it's backed up, and it's always backed up here, always. And this light is not timed properly. It's too short of a green, and also the problem is you have cars parked on the street here. This could easily be 2 travel lanes. I would take away all the parking here, and that would make it quicker. This could be 2 travel lanes, but it's not, and so you get this backup that occurs. And again, between this whole slog here, this is what usually delays the 43 and causes the 43 to run late, as well as the 45, is this particular area here. Again, lots of traffic uses this road. The light's not timed properly for the traffic, and the thing is, they want to. I think a lot of times they want to frustrate drivers, so they run the light because here's a red light camera, right here. And ever since these cameras went up, the traffic light situation has gotten worse. They make the yellows short. They make them timed so you get aggravated and you run them, and that way you can get fined by the county. That's part of the scam that these cameras involve. So that is another choke point there for Nice Bus. Again, solution, fix the timing. Most of the solution is fixing the timing. And in this case, the road, for the amount of traffic that uses this road and that goes through this intersection, this should be 2 lanes, and the parking should be taken away from here. C-Town, this is not a very nice area, by the way, but they have a parking lot for C-Town. That is that choke point. Now, these other spots are spots where there aren't necessarily traffic backups, but these are just long lights that wind up delaying buses, and missing them can mean, you know, running a couple minutes late, anywhere from a couple to 5 minutes late. Now, we're going to start with the Westbury area, and actually I want to talk about a notorious light here, Bravado Road and Merrick Road, for the Merrick Avenue for the northbound 35. This traffic light here, and they had this fixed for a while, but it's back to its old situation. Basically, this light is timed. By the time this light turns green, you wind up missing this light over here. So, if you catch it and you make this light, it's not that bad. But if you just miss it, you wind up sitting here and looking at this light turn green to go north onto Post Avenue, and then turn red again before you get a chance. So I call this the double light, because you miss it, you miss this light, you miss that light, and so you can be delayed. These lights are pretty long; they can be up to 2 to 3 minutes long each, and so you could be 5-6 minutes just missing this light, running 5-6 minutes behind schedule. And we're going to just look at the traffic light here on the street view, just to show you briefly. Again, this light here. For some reason, for a while it was working where when the bus pulled up, you didn't have to wait very long. That's the way it should be, but there's supposedly a sensor in the pavement, but they get it working and then it doesn't work, and then you wind up having to just wait for it to cycle back. And so the time you make this light here, you have to sit at this light here, and this light at Old Country and Post is ridiculous. This light could be 2-3 minutes long, and again, when you consider the volume of traffic that goes down Post Avenue and Merrick Avenue, again, it's not enough time for the traffic in this direction. Once again, it seems like a constant problem where the traffic lights are not timed properly for north-south traffic, only for east-west. And again, it's a dumb traffic light. It doesn't have, it just has sensors in the pavement. These are old traffic lights. Most areas have newer traffic lights that are controlled by computers and connected to each other. That's not the way it works there. And again, they, like I pointed out before, they want to aggravate you, so you wind up running the light and getting caught by Mr. Red Light Camera over here. These things, ever since these things went up, it's gotten a lot worse, and it affects the buses too. So this is another spot where the N35 can lose time. But now let's get to another spot in Westbury that has some aggravating traffic lights. Maple Avenue and Union Avenue, these lights here at school are, again, timed so you miss each other. And this light here to make that left for that eastbound 22 on the Union Avenue is ridiculously long sometimes. And you see there's another street here. Again, it's ridiculously long. The 22 can lose time this way. And it's not a very nice area to, be, sitting at a light in, really, Just put it that way. Not a very nice area at all. And this is like the border of Westbury and Newcastle. So the 22, you can see how the 22 could be a pretty depressing ride. But there's another spot on the 22 also where time is lost, and it's over here at Prospect. This is the westbound 22. This light over here, in order to make the left from Prospect onto Brush Hollow, This light is also ridiculously long. Oh, that's not what you want to see. I just missed it. Now I'll be sitting here another 2 minutes. That's kind of, and these are Nassau County lights because they're painted yellow. Massapequa, Sunrise Mall, Westfield Sunrise. I don't think the routing, basically the routing that the 55 and the 19 take, and the formerly, the 80 and the 81, which will be coming back, they should be making this first left into Sunrise Mall. All right? Actually, the way I would have it would be to have the 19, personally, I think the 19 should be going down Merrick Road, then making a left to serve Carmen Mill Road, because when it was cut at Sunrise Mall, there's no bus that serves Carmen Mill Road, and there's people that need the bus on this road. Now they have to walk a little bit. It could go this way, and then make the left into here, then right, and then left into the mall this way. But I'm getting off topic. We're talking about the traffic light here to enter Sunrise Mall, right over here. Once the 55 and the 19 and the 80 and the 81 cross under the tracks, they make the left at the Sunrise Mall at this light, not this one. And they should be making the left into the mall at this light here. Instead, they wait at this light. And this light over here is ridiculously long. Now, it's not a traffic spot or anything, but again, missing this light here can mean it's this is like a 4 or 5 minute light. It's insane. It really is insane. And I'm sure maybe before NICE came into existence and before red light cameras around, this light's always been like this. I bet you people have ran it. I don't blame them because, first of all, it's a red arrow, and a lot of times you can easily make a left here. All right, so there's no need for a red arrow. And again, it's like a 3, 4, 5, sometimes a 5 minute light. You'll be sitting there. This light is ridiculous. So this winds up delaying the buses too. We have old traffic signals here, and I'll just point out in conclusion that it affects the buses, and we need newer traffic signals. We need smart traffic signals that can know the traffic conditions around them and time themselves properly for different traffic volumes, and you could do that by having the little cameras, they're not red light cameras, they're little cameras on the traffic light, and and they can sense the traffic better than these little metal sensors that are in the road that break all the time. It's such old technology. Also, the traffic lights can be interconnected to each other, so they can communicate and talk to each other. The other thing, and the last thing is, I think, and this is something I've brought up time and time again, but I keep getting rebuffed on it, I think that there should be a system in place for when a bus pulls up to a light turns green for the bus. This would save time, it would save fuel. NICE keeps talking about running more efficient. Yet, if buses didn't have to sit at traffic lights, so much money would be saved. You could save so much money, you could probably bring back so much more service. But nobody wants to talk about that. So I just want to show you in conclusion what New Jersey's traffic lights look like. And they're a lot better, and they have much newer systems. Yeah. All right, we're looking at a New Jersey traffic light near Toms River. And they all painted yellow, and they all look a lot nicer, and they're more modern. They're not on wires like New York's is. And I want you to take a look at these cameras here at the top of the traffic light, right here. These monitor how much traffic there is at the traffic light. And this way the traffic light knows how long it has to stay green for in each direction. And they're much more modern traffic lights. They look a lot better than New York's. And again, considering that how high New York's taxes are and how expensive it is to drive, I really think we deserve better. And this is what our traffic lights should look like. So take it easy. Thank you for watching. And and this benefits public transit. This benefits motorists. It's a win-win for everybody. One thing New Jersey doesn't have is red light cameras, and I think that red light cameras need to be repealed in New York. And we need to time our traffic signals to move traffic, do the job that they're supposed to do, which is move traffic efficiently and safely. Thank you for watching.